Unfortunately, the hidden camera died before it could capture what Brendon was seeing. But we were able to piece together some of what he must have seen. After moving toward the center of the circle, Brendon tries to retreat. As he does, the camera captures a glimpse of some sort of being hovering over a severely mutilated young woman. And by enhancing the video images, we are able to see that this being resembles a reptilian. Brendon never came home from Bohemian Grove.
No, he disappeared.
What did you think had happened to him?
I thought he was captured.
But didn't you go looking for him?
Yes, of course I went looking for him. But then I stopped.
After watching Brendon's brave penetration into Bohemian Grove from his computer at his Hollywood apartment, Mr. X copied a DVD disc of the footage and left for the evening. But when he returned 3 hours later, he found that his home had been destroyed. The Los Angeles Fire Department has confirmed to Truthseeker TV that the fire which destroyed Mr. X's apartment was an act of arson. I attempted to interview the other tenants who live in the building. All but one declined to speak with me. While refusing to be interviewed on camera, the tenant did confirm that they had seen a suspicious-looking person loitering near the building just 24 hours before Mr. X's apartment was torched. Truthseeker TV employed a professional police sketch artist to render a drawing of the suspected arsonist directly from the tenant's description. And needless to say, we were shocked at the result. Is this Jude Kemper? Or is it just another member of the arena? Is it likely that the alleged arsonist just happens to bear an uncanny resemblance to a member of the group he and Brendon had been tracking? We think not. Fearing the worst, Brendon's ex-wife, Mary Hill, next hired this man, private investigator Tony Diaz, to try and find her ex-husband.
The first thing in locating a missing person is either A, credit card activity, or B, cell phone activity.
Just 3 weeks after hiring Mr. Diaz, Mary Hill received a phone call from the private eye's office. Mr. Diaz had found Brendon.
We tracked him all the way down to a cheap motel in Denver, Colorado, real close to the airport. He was in room 104. I went up there, I knocked on the door. He didn't even ask who it was. He opened it. I told him who I was. I told him I was looking for him. At that time, he just seemed a little confused, and he was just out of it, like he hadn't slept in a couple days. I told him I was going to bring him home. He seemed very grateful to me, but at the same time submissive, do you know what I mean? Like he just didn't know. But I'll tell you what was interesting. On the walk to the car, I noticed that his 2 fingers were cut off. 2 fingers. I didn't know what or where, and I kind of asked him. He didn't really want to give me an answer, so I didn't want to pry. I took some of the bandages off to see the extent of it, and the 2 fingers were chopped off. I mean, I'd never seen anything like that. I asked him if I could take some pictures. He agreed, and I got him back home safely.
2 weeks after Brendon was found, Mr. X told us that he received a phone call on his mobile phone. On the other end was a woman. She was frantic and crying.
She didn't give her name. She just said that she was a psychic, that she was employed by the U.S. government, and that she was involved in something called remote viewing.
Fascinated students of government conspiracy for decades. Remote viewing, or RV, is a form of psychic ability. Many conspiracy theorists believe that the US government employs these remote viewers as spies.
This psychic called to tell me about a murder that hadn't even happened yet.
Did she say who was going to be murdered?
Yes, the Marine. This woman predicted a murder 2 weeks before it happened.
Brendon Corey has since returned to his Malibu home, but he never goes out. Guarded 24 hours a day by a team of private security guards and attended to by a small staff of nurses, Mr. Corey is no longer the vital person he once was. Truthseeker TV has repeatedly requested an interview with him, but we have been categorically refused all access, his family citing exhaustion and concern for the safety of his children. You went up to see Brendon in the weeks after he was found and brought back to his Malibu home.
Yes, he asked to see me. But Brandon's not the same person anymore.
What do you mean?
Didn't just take his fingers. They've done something to his mind.
Do you want to take a break?
I went up to see Brendon where he was living. He didn't say much. I mean, what he did say was almost impossible to understand. He kept mumbling and mumbling, but I did hear him sort of say one thing. He kept saying the same word over and over again. He said the tapestry, the tapestry, the tapestry. And at first I didn't know what he was saying, but I think he was referring to David Icke in London.
It's a few strands in a massive tapestry. If you want to see the tapestry, you have to keep digging, you have to keep reading, you have to keep searching, and then you'll find it.
What else, if anything, did Brendon tell you?
He told me to continue searching.
For Jude Kemper?
Yes, for Jude.
Will you continue searching?
No way, I'm done with this shit.
But yet you are talking to us.
Yes, in case something happens to me, I want the world to see the truth, right?